Falls from height remain one of the biggest causes of death, disability and injury at work. Whether you work in construction, building or industry, you must understand how to prevent falls at work. Assessments and control of risk are required even when the potential fall distance is less than 2 meters. Don't wait for someone at your workplace to fall before you start to take height safety seriously. Your life could depend on it. This program covers height case studies, risk assessment, scaffolds, fall arrest systems, ladders, and elevated work platforms. View the following case studies and examine how a safe system of work may have prevented each accident. Case Study 1. A safety cage with guardrails and a harness should always be used when carrying out temporary work with mobile machinery such as forklifts. Name 3 reasons why lifting people with mobile machinery can cause death. Case Study 2. Name 3 things wrong with the following work processes. Case Study 3. When should you use a ladder and when should you use an elevated work platform to perform a task? Case Study 4. How would a risk assessment help prevent this accident? Case Study 5. Is this working at height? Case Study 6. Who can use and install scaffolding? Case Study 7. Do you need to assess the risk before commencing work at heights below 2 meters? Case Study 8. How often do you need to check fall arrest systems for damage? Case Study 9. How do you know a roof is secure enough to walk on? Case Study 10. how could this task have been done safely? Case Study 11. Is the following example a fall from height? Case Study 12. When using scaffolding or working at height, which control measures can be used to protect people from falling objects? An extensive worksite risk assessment usually includes an investigation of all locations and tasks that might cause someone to fall. Even at heights below 2 meters, you need to assess the risks. Many injuries and fatalities result from relatively low heights. Falls can occur not only at height, but also into holes, pits, or trenches. Where possible, avoid working at height altogether to eliminate the risks. Ensure that nothing is thrown or tipped from height or stored in such a way that its movement is likely to injure anyone. If there is a risk of someone being struck by a falling object, the area must be clearly indicated and isolated so that unauthorized people are unable to reach it. Job sequencing is arranged so that workers do not work above or below each other at the same time. Use collective safety measures such as guardrails or nets. Take account of the safety not only of people working at height, but any other people on the site. Guardrails and barricades around edges, holes in floors, structures and stairwells are a priority fall prevention measure. Footwear plays a vital part in preventing slips and trips that can lead to falls. On most sites, you must wear safety boots with steel-capped toes and gripping soles. Loose soil, slippery and uneven surfaces are unstable. Look up. You should not work near power lines. Confirm the strength of a roof before you work on it. Keep clear of weaker structures such as roof skylights, smoke vents and gutters. Take into account weather conditions and postpone work when it is dangerous. Are workers using chemicals such as solvents or paints that may cause dizziness or loss of coordination? Protective clothing such as slip-resistant boots, gloves, safety glasses and helmets reduce exposure to hazards. If any unexpected fall hazards are identified before or during the job, notify your supervisor. All equipment, such as scaffolding, must be checked after it has been installed and as often as necessary to ensure safety thereafter. Scaffolds can only be erected, altered and dismantled by people with the certificate of competency of the appropriate class. The structure should have guardrails, toe boards and safe step or ladder access. A range of scaffolds and working platforms are available. Be aware of their limitations. Every class of scaffold has a safe working load limit. Light-duty scaffolds are suitable for tasks such as plastering, painting and electrical work. Medium-duty scaffolds are used for carpentry and most other general trades. Bricklaying, concreting and demolition work requires heavy-duty scaffolds. Special precautions have to be taken if power lines hang near a platform. Keep scaffolds clear of debris and obstructions. Remove tripping hazards. Scaffolds are primarily for access and are not places to store materials or equipment. If you do fall from height, wearing a safety harness can save you. Fall arrest systems are used where workers are required to carry out jobs near an unprotected edge. There are a number of different fall arrest systems, including static and inertia reel systems. Vertical and self-retracting anchorage lines can be used for work performed from bosun's chairs and ladders. Collective fall arrest systems include nets and airbags. Only people suitably trained and supervised should install and use fall arrest systems. Don't work alone. Have a rescue plan prepared before you commence work so you know how to respond if a fall occurs. Fall arrest systems should only be set up with components that are known to be compatible. Make sure all the components are checked and in good order prior to starting work. Frayed and torn material or bent metal fittings indicate that the equipment could break under the strain of a fall. Wear the safety harness properly. The belts around your shoulders, waist and upper legs should not be left slack. Poorly fitted belts can cause bruising or serious injury in the event of a fall. Snap hooks that attach to the lanyard and anchor points should require at least 2 deliberate actions to open. Do not connect snap hooks to each other or back onto the lanyard. The anchorage point should be sturdy and as high as the equipment permits. If you work above the anchor point, the free fall distance will increase. Use a short lanyard where practical. The longer the free fall distance of the lanyard, the greater the jolt on the person in the harness when their fall is stopped. A long line system can cause a pendulum effect when the line drops along an edge, swinging a worker to the ground or into an object. When you are not using the lanyard, don't let it drag along the ground, and be careful not to get it caught in moving parts such as a lift. Store equipment in a clean, dry area, free of fumes, sunlight or corrosive materials. Place it in a way that does not warp or distort the belts. Take the time to properly set yourself up. As a general rule, for every 4 meters the ladder extends up the wall, place its base 1 meter out from the wall. Place the raised end of a ladder so it overhangs about 1 meter above a landing for access purposes. Use an effective means to prevent a ladder from slipping and sliding. An assistant could hold and foot the ladder, or the base could be chocked. If practical, tie the base and top of the ladder to a solid object. Before using a step ladder, make sure it's locked in the fully open position. Don't use a step ladder near the edge of an open floor, because if the ladder topples, you could fall over the edge. Use an elevated work platform or a scaffold for jobs at an extreme height rather than overextending a long ladder. To maintain an extension ladder's strength, a good length of overlap should be kept between extensions. Use industrial-grade ladders that are designed to take a higher load rating capacity than domestic ladders. The highest you are permitted to stand on a ladder is the 3rd rung below the top plate. take the time to move a ladder so you are safely positioned. When you do a job where contact with electricity could accidentally occur, use a wooden or fiberglass ladder. Use a tool belt to keep your hands free as you face a ladder to climb and work. Only one person should be on a ladder at a time. If you require two hands to hold a tool while on a ladder, you must use equipment to support your body, such as a pole strap. There are a range of elevated work platforms, such as travel towers, boom lifts, scissor lifts, and cherry pickers. A certificate of competency is required to operate certain units. Follow pre-operational checks specified in the manufacturer's instructions. Units should be used on a flat, firm surface. Unit stabilizers or outriggers should be fully extended and leveled. Where necessary, use suitable metal or timber spreaders to provide a firm base. A mobile work platform's wheels should be locked when it is in a stationary position. If you use a suspended or elevated work platform, you should wear a safety harness with its lanyard attached to a secure anchorage point on the platform. Distribute weight on the platform evenly. Never exceed the safe working load of the unit. Platforms should not be used as cranes or to prop up structures. Do not stand on the guardrails or climb out at height. Communicate with your work team. If you are the driver of a motor-propelled unit, or if the structure has to be manually moved, inform everyone when an adjustment is to happen. Although there are exceptions specified by manufacturers, booms usually have to be lowered before the unit travels. Travel at a slow pace. Keep a safe distance from changes in slope, depressions, debris, buildings, and overhead power lines. Keep a work platform locked and out of the way when it is not in use. Before you work at height, there are a range of potential hazards that you should look for during a risk assessment. Implement control measures to reduce the risk of injury. A scaffold has weight limitations, and sometimes mishaps can damage a structure. If you notice something wrong with the scaffold, see that the damage is repaired. Don't risk falling. If you have to work near an unprotected edge, use a fall arrest system. Prevent the conditions that could cause you to fall by making the right moves to ensure your safety. Your life could depend on it.